In this video, I'm going to be explaining how to create a catching style game in Scratch. The player will be able to move a character left and right while they try to catch falling items, while also trying to dodge hazardous items at the same time. So to get started, let's go ahead and decide what your catcher sprite is going to be. So let's go ahead and delete the default cat here, and go ahead and choose any sprite that you want. Myself, I'm going to pick the chick. We're going to want to position your catcher sprite at the bottom of the stage. So you can go ahead and just click and drag it down like this. Depending on which sprite you choose, you may also want to modify the size of it to make it a little bit smaller, but it's up to you. Now we're going to add some code here so the player can control your catcher and have it moved both left and right. We'll start by grabbing when a green flag is clicked and a forever loop. So what we're going to do is we're going to add two controls here. Both of them will be if statements, one after the other. The first one is going to check to see if the right arrow is pressed, and then the second one will be if the left arrow is being pressed. We can find those inside the sensing category. Right here where it says key space is pressed. So we'll drag that in here into both of those little hexagon shapes. And then we're going to change this to say the right arrow and the other one for the left arrow. Now, when the right arrow is pressed, we want the catcher to move to the right. So inside motion, we want to change X by a positive number. Remember, the X-axis is left and right, Y-axis is up and down. So we're going to change X by 10, and then with the left arrow to move left, we would change X by -10. And by the way, you don't have to do 10 and -10. Bigger numbers means that you would move faster. Smaller numbers would be it would move slower. And if you want to, you can test this out right now. Hit the green flag, and we should be able to move left and right. Awesome. Now it's time to add a second sprite, your falling item, the one that you're trying to catch. Again, it can be any sprite you want. For me, I'm going to choose an egg. Now, the first code we're going to put in here when the flag is clicked is that we want to make sure the egg always spawns at the top of the screen. So inside motion, we're going to get this teleporting code here, go to X and Y. Now, the top of the screen has a Y value of around 180. Now for the X value, this is a little bit more complicated. We want it to actually be a random location from left to right. To randomize its X value, we'll go inside the green section called operators, and we're going to choose this, pick random number. And we're going to put it inside the X value. Now we're going to want to pick a random X value between -240 and +240, which is essentially all the way from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. You could even test this out right now. I could hit the green flag, and you can see that it's changing or spawning at different spots at the top of the screen every time. So we can tell that this is working. Now let's add some code so that it actually falls down. We're going to use a forever loop, and we're going to tell it to forever change its Y value by -10. Remember, the Y value is up and down. Negative makes it go down. And again, it doesn't need to be 10. If you want to fall faster, do a bigger number. If you want to fall slower, do a smaller number. Okay, so right now you'll notice that it falls, but it just kind of stays at the bottom of the screen. What we want to happen is that if it does fall to the bottom of the screen, we want it to teleport back up to the top. Okay, so we're going to create an if statement to help us with that. So as it's falling, it's going to keep falling, but if its Y position drops below a certain value, then we want it to teleport back up to the top. So to check and see if that's happening, we're going to use a less than an inequality here. So we're going to check to see if the Y position, which we can find inside motion here, just scroll down a little bit. So if the Y position drops below -170, because right now you can see it's at -191, so it's definitely dropping below that. If that happens, then we want it to teleport back up to the top. Now, to save time, we already have that code. It's this blue one up here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to detach this so I have it all by itself here. And I'm going to right click and duplicate it. Again, duplicating is a really good time-saving trick. But we can put that in here and reattach everything. So what we have is when the game starts, it teleports to the top, it starts to fall, but as it's falling, if its Y value drops below negative 170, meaning the bottom of the page, then it's going to teleport back up to the top. Let's go ahead and see if it works. Perfect. Now, you might notice if I try to catch the egg, nothing happens, right? The egg just falls right through me. So that's our next step, is to actually be able to catch the falling item. So this code we're going to add to your falling item, so make sure you don't have your player selected, make sure you have your falling item selected. And I'm going to move over to the side here so I have a bit more space. I guess I'll go down. I need to zoom out a bit. Okay, so we're going to add a new block of code when the game starts. We want to check and see if this egg is ever touching the chick. Okay, so that would be an if statement. And inside sensing, we can drag in something here. Where is it? Right now it says touching mouse pointer, but we can change that to say touching chick. So this is checking to see if this egg is touching the chick, then do something. What do we want to do? Well, if the egg touches the chick, we want the egg to teleport back up to the top of the screen. Exactly the same code as what we have here. So once again, we can save time just by duplicating that and put it inside here. Now, you might notice an issue. If I try to run this code, it doesn't work. And that's because right now, we're only checking to see if the egg's touching the chick when the flag is clicked. And it's not. It's happening after the flag is clicked. So to fix that problem, we need to put a forever loop around this whole thing. So now we've told the code that I want you to always check and see if the egg is touching the chick, then make this happen. And you'll see if I test it now, it does. We can actually touch the egg and it resets back up to the top. Now it's time to add a variable into our game, which is going to be a number that helps us keep track of the player's score. So let's go ahead and go to the variables tab here, and we're going to click make a variable, and let's call it score, and hit OK. And you can see it pop up on the left here. Now double check that you still are looking at the code for your falling item, not the player, the falling item, okay? Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to add some code to this code we already have here. We already have code here that's checking to see if the egg touches the chick. So all we need to do is change the score, increase the score by 1 anytime that happens, right here. Make sure we change this though to say the score variable. So what this is saying is that every time the egg touches the chick, your score is going to increase by 1. And you can test it out. See, the score is going up. Now there is one slight issue. You'll notice if I stop the game and restart it, the score stays. So what we need to do is add a little bit of code here that anytime the green flag is clicked, the score resets back to 0. So we could actually just kind of insert it right in this little space right here. Oops. So we could set score to 0 anytime the green flag is clicked. And you can see that right now. I'll hit the green flag and the score resets to 0. Now, to make the game a bit more exciting, what we want to do is have code it so that the player actually loses points if they miss the falling item. And it's actually not too complicated. We know the player misses the falling item if this happens, if the Y position falls below a certain amount. That means that the player missed it, and it teleports back up to the top. So all we need to do is change that score right in here. Change the score. Now, we want them to lose a point in this case, so we're actually going to change the 1 to a -1. Let's test it out. So I'm playing my game, I'm collecting the eggs. Now you'll notice if I miss it, there, the score is dropping down. Perfect. So we gain a point if we see it, if we collect it, and we lose a point if we miss it. Now it's time to make the game a little bit harder and more exciting. We're going to add another sprite that the player has to avoid. So let's go ahead and add a new sprite. I'm going to add a hedgehog. You can pick anything you want. That hedgehog is massive, so I'm going to go ahead Switch it to 50% size. Now, I'm going to show you a nice trick, a good time-saving trick here. Rather than adding a whole bunch of code again to have the hedgehog fall, to add collision, a lot of this can be duplicated from your other falling object. So I'm going to go back to the egg. Now, this whole section here is coding our falling item to actually fall. So let's go ahead and grab it, and I'm going to drag it over to my hedgehog and let go. And now you'll notice if I go to my hedgehog, it's copied all of that code into the hedgehog. So now if I hit play, look at that, the hedgehog falls just like the egg. Now the issue though is, you'll notice the hedgehog, nothing happens if I run into it, right? And also, if I miss the hedgehog, I'm losing points. That doesn't make sense. We're trying to dodge the hedgehog. So this changed score by -1. If we miss the hedgehog, we don't want that. So we should actually just get rid of that entirely. Now the other thing is, as I play my game, I don't have collision set up for the hedgehog yet. He just flies right through me. So once again, we can steal code or copy code from your other falling object. This other block of code here is the detection, right? It's checking to see if it's touching the chick. So let's go ahead and drag that into our hedgehog. It's kind of overlapping here, but I can move it out of the way. Now, right now, this is saying if the hedgehog touches the chick, increase your score by 1. We don't want that, right? We want to try to dodge the hedgehog. So instead of being a +1, this should be a -1. So now if the chick touches the hedgehog, I should lose a point. So right now I'm dodging it. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm losing points if I touch that hedgehog. Now a couple more tips just to spice up the game a little bit. I think it's kind of weird if both objects fall at the same speed. Not that great. That's a really easy thing to change. Maybe I want my hedgehog to fall a bit slower. The speed is this change y by. Okay, so maybe I want my hedgehog to change by -7 instead. And so now they fall at slightly different speeds. I think that makes it more playable. Also, white background sucks. Make sure you choose an actual interesting background. Like Neon Tunnel. What else? Well, other ways you can spice up your game. You could add some sound effects. Maybe different sound effects are played depending on whether you land or catch your falling object or your hazard. Maybe you have background music being played. Maybe some of your falling objects rotate as they fall down. In fact, I'll show you what that could look like. I'll add a new event here. So when the flag is clicked, I want my hedgehog to forever rotate. I think that would be under motion. Yes, turn 15 degrees. Watch. Now it actually looks like it's falling. Kind of cool, right? Other ways you could level up your game. Maybe you could have a way for the game to end. Maybe once you reach a certain score, it says you win. Or maybe if you drop below a certain number, you lose the game. Lots of different ways you can spice up the game. Maybe there's even more objects that are falling. Maybe there's upgrades. Lots of different ways you can add some creativity. Anyway, that's it for the tutorial. Go ahead and have fun.